Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sip Session. In today's episode, I'm joined by rapper and producer Wiidaaseh for a conversation about storytelling, identity, creativity, and the inspiration behind his latest track, 86. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sip Session. Today I'm here with Wiidaaseh, and how are you today?
I am really, really good, and I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited to get into it.
Amazing. How's your week been so far? We're almost at the weekend.
Yes, we are almost at. I have work. I have a lot of work to do. Service industry, like my Monday is tomorrow,
That's true.
essentially. So everyone's
That's
starting their
true.
weekend and or ending it and going through their week, and I'm like, it's just about to get hard now.
How do you like that? Do you like it because like most people, I feel like it might be a little bit less busier on the days that you're off, which might be kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, I love the service industry. I love my job.
Yeah.
I love. I don't even mind the schedule. Like you adjust to it, and like everyone's schedules are so flexible now. Like unless you have like a
Hmm.
government job where you're like working the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, it's like
Yeah.
usually it's like my schedule still lines up with my buddies, and we still have time like together even earlier in the
Nice.
week.
Do you find your time in the kitchen influences your music at all?
Yes, especially it has been very recently. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to like I like writing songs about things that are going on in my life, and I've never really done like a kitchen song or something for my job or for my love of my job.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. Like you'd honestly think that it happens more often, but no, it doesn't. My song 86 was the first time I'd ever been like, I'm also a chef. Like,
Yeah.
and you'd think that would
Hey,
come
by
through
the
more.
way.
Yeah. By the way, the thing that I've been doing for the past 11 years, it's finally come up. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was a bit surprised when I made that song. I've tried before, but it's never come together so
Hmm.
well
Hmm.
than with 86.
Yeah, you've described it as a kitchen being in love with its cooks. So where did that idea kind of come from?
That idea came from like I wanted to express my love for my job, and I also really wanted to express my love for my teammates. Like the people that I work with are some like almost the entire reason why I show up. I love my team. I love working with them. They're good friends outside of work as well. And I was just like, okay, how do I not make this sound weird? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Uh, like how am I making like almost a love song for my friends and my job and my coworkers? And I was like, I'm just going to do it from the perspective of the physical kitchen, as if we were all walking around. And I have this huge hood vent like on top of me. And I was like, what we like if it was looking down at us,
If it was
literally
the
like
perspective,
birds.
yeah.
Yeah, like the bird's
Bird's
eye
eye view.
view of of us. And I was like, that's
Mhm.
kind of how I wanted to do it. And it evolved as I was making the song. Like it started as the love song, and then it went into like my soul was inside kitchen equipment looking at my cooks, and then at the very last verse it kind of sounds like I have died and I'm like looking at the kitchen. Like if
Yeah.
you read the lyrics it
Like,
sounds like
yeah, yeah,
I'm
like you're
dead.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
And
and
it's like this
so
is
yeah, so it
yep.
kind of all honestly it all kind of came in together like that, but at the end of the day it was for my cooks and for my job and
And
how
how
much
did
I
they
love.
how'd they feel when you released the song? Because did you show it to them? Did you tell them that you're writing it, or was it like, "No, this is my finished product"?
No, no, not at
Yeah.
all. I'll show like I'll play demos sometimes at
Yeah.
work just to like one for the speaker. I want to see how it sounds, but
Mhm.
also getting like a light opinion of just and they all love music, so it's just like, what do you
Yeah.
guys think of this? No, I never told them, and I don't know how much they know it's about them. Probably not a lot. They probably just
Mm.
think I'm talking about like my job or the kitchen being in love with me or something like that, where it's
Yeah.
really like my perspective and how
Oh,
much
wow.
I love them and the job. So
Until now they're gonna know.
until now, yeah, now they're gonna know. And I did something with like a music Instagram profile, and I
Yes,
texted it out for them, and I was like, that it really is for them at the end of the day. So
which is like that's really special. So
mhm.
the people that you've worked with who were the inspiration behind your latest track, 86, um, how long have you known them? Like sit like all 11 years that you've been working in the service industry, or just
No, but like a really long time, especially
yeah,
for the service industry. Like when I talk to people who also work in restaurants and bars and coffee shops, whenever I tell them I've been working at the same place for 11 years, they're like, "Whoa!" Like that's a
yeah,
long. And I was like, not only that, I have someone who's been there for like around 7 or 8 years. I have someone who's been there for about like 6 or 7 years, and
yeah,
when I tell people that, like when thankfully we've had a really solid team for about 2 or 3 years now, where it's just been like the same four people because we're a very small team. They like all the interviewees were like, whoa. And it's usually a very good sign that something right is happening, that people want to
yeah,
stay, right? Because like high
absolutely.
turnover rate is like shitty chef, shitty general
Yeah,
manager,
especially in the
bad
service
tips.
industry. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So when people hear that we have a really, really low turnover rate, they really want to get in because obviously something good's happening there. And so
yeah,
I've known two people for collective, like one for about 8 years, one for about 7 years, and then one
yeah,
of the new people I think came in around 2 or 3 years ago, but is an absolute staple of our kitchen. And then one we just hired like around a year ago, and that's
nice.
been and my two dishwashers. They're amazing and they're part of my team,
I love
and
this.
yeah, they are my dishwashers are the heart and soul of the kitchen. So
Hey,
they are, yeah.
yes, they are. I
Yeah.
worked at a diner for a few years, so I understand the service
Oh
industry.
yeah,
Not to
you're
that
into.
extent. Not in
Yeah,
Toronto. No,
not in Toronto. Okay, okay.
it was in like Halton Hills area.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, you become really close. And there's like a lot
yeah,
of trust and there's a lot of love because you're in high pressure situations all the time. So that's actually really amazing and like like a really cool I don't know, emotional moment that kind of led to that. And then through your storytelling, like kitchen perspective, it's really cool. Um,
yeah.
so if 86 was a dish, what would it be?
Oh man, that's such a
I know.
dishes
Yeah.
are always because it's oh my gosh. I would yeah, I always think about like if it was a dish, it would be something uh like warm and cozy that I usually cook. Like one of the my favorite things I love to make for my cooks is moose meat, because I'm First Nations and I hunt, and I have access to moose meat, so I'll cook it, I'll bring it in for them to just try out, and I love sharing that with them. I think it's a really special thing because you can't really get it, you can't sell it, you can't buy it unless you're doing it from like friends or family. So I love doing like a moose stew or a moose roast for them, and I think that's what it would be because it's warm. It always reminds me of family because moose meat growing up, that's what we'd eat all the time. Especially like my dad, he loved moose roast, so like I feel like taking that recipe and then almost like down the line, and then I take it on, I do my own things with it, and then I share it with the people I love. So yeah, I would say a moose roast for sure. Like that's one of my favorite things to share with them, and I think that's perfect.
I love that. Oh, that's great. And like comfort and family, so it just kind of embodies
Yes,
exactly what
exactly.
you wanted to put in there. So that's
And
great.
it's a big share meal, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everyone circles around, everyone
gathers.
wants to have
That's
so
right.
yes, yes, yeah.
The gathering comfort meal, and
Yeah.
I like that. I love that. Also, want to talk about your track Han Solo, specifically the music video. Very different from 86,
Yes.
and visually more intense. I feel, and that one came out. Was it last fall?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
yes, last fall, yep.
last fall. Yeah. So, what was kind of the idea behind the Han Solo music video for you? What were you thinking?
So that was I met up with a director named T Dot. He's a photographer, and he's like becoming he's doing more like music video stuff for artists and stuff like that. He's originally a photographer though, and he does a lot of sports things. I met him on a separate music video for a different native artist where I danced in like the background as like B-roll for her song. And we met that way. He really likes my spiky mask. It's not everywhere. I used to use it more. I kind of want to. I'm In my next musical projects that I'm going to release, the spiky mask is going to be way more of a visual motif. But he really liked it, and I really liked being in it. It was a really cool thing. And so he kind of, there's like a punk feel with it. So it's kind of like that's where the intensity came from, like this spiky punkness. And Han Solo is very like it's a song about independence, especially when it comes to art making and being a creative. Just the importance of being independent, and the difficulties that come with it, obviously. But the focus is like finding pride in being independent. So a lot of those visuals were centered around the mask as like the main centerpiece of the music video. And yeah, that's where all that visual, the visual noise, the like the intensity of the cuts and the speed, it was kind of like a punkish rap feeling
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
But do you feel so like the mask, like it was covering your eyes, obviously it felt very intentional and you spoke
Hmm.
about that a little bit. So what does the mask like represent for you? And you've been saying how you're not good at because I noticed sometimes you wear the mask in performances. You just talked about how you're kind of going to pull back a little bit and you choose. So what determines the choice of you wearing a mask for a song and not?
The OG reason, because there's a whole story behind the mask. Essentially, I went to a performance here in Toronto. There was a rapper and his DJ was wearing a mask, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I had a show coming up, and I bought the mask because I wanted my buddy Kellogg, who produces some of my music for me. He's kind of like my hype man, my guy who helps me during performances because he knows a lot of my songs. He can also rap, and it's like, so I was like, you put on the mask. That's really cool. And I'm going to wear my sunglasses. The original thing was to help him with his nerves because it's really nerve wracking to be on stage. I wear sunglasses. I used to wear sunglasses on stage so I could close my eyes and the audience doesn't know that I'm trying really hard to memorize my song
I
and
love
not
that.
freak out. Yeah, it's a Slash moment because Slash used to wear his hair down so
Yeah.
that he didn't see the audience. And I was like, I don't want to see the audience. I don't. I'm getting a little more comfortable, like interacting with
Mhm.
the audience and talking with them. The OG reason was I was so scared, and I was like,
Honestly, what
yeah.
a human reason though. Like,
But I was
yeah,
like,
it's nerve-wracking to get up there in front of people.
to be scared, but to also look cool. And I was like, so
Yeah.
the audience is like, whoa, wow, well, look at that. And I'm just trying not to freak out. And then it just became part of like Wiidaaseh as like a visual brand type thing. I've kind of put it down just a little bit because I feel like while it does provide a mystery to viewers or anyone trying to get into the music, it lessens the connection a little bit because you
Mhm.
can't really see my face. They're like the mystery being the whole brand I didn't really want because I still wanted like me as a person to connect with my audience and connect with people
Yeah.
that listen to my music. And new people would just see the mask and be like, that's cool. And it's like, so there are the people that are like, that's cool, but then there's also me where I'm like, I want to connect with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to do that in a mask sometimes, especially like after a show and people are trying to talk to you and they're just like, and I'm like, I want to
Well,
take this off. You know what I want to talk
yeah,
to
you're
you.
like, I want to talk to you, I want to connect. But so it's
Yeah.
interesting. So it's not a persona for you. It's not it was truly to help you on stage to be more
Hmm.
confident in yourself and your performance.
Hmm.
That's great.
In maybe a way it is a persona in that regard,
Yeah.
just a little bit. Because I remember when I first met T Dot, and then I sent him more of my music. He was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like in your songs?" And I was like, "That's the guy with the mask on." I was like,
I
"That's who
mean,
that is."
they're more intense, right? So like
Yeah,
you said it depending on your storytelling angle, depending on like your song, you could
yeah.
I mean, you're the artist, you get to choose. That's the best part. So,
Yeah, yeah. I when the sounds get more intense, it's something I do like wearing because I'm like
hmm
it visually has an intensity and also the music matching that vibe is usually they
hmm
go together. Yeah.
Do you
Mhm.
feel like right now you're taking a step back from that kind of era for you and moving into something else, or like leaving it open, maybe back and forth?
Yeah, kind of a back and forth type thing.
hmm
My musical projects that I'm working on coming up, I definitely want to reintroduce the mask because the
hmm
music is a little more intense. It's a little more fun. Um so yeah, that's something I want to bring back as just a visual thing for people to hook onto. You know. It's a great hook.
It's a great hook. It's a
Yeah.
great hook. Right away,
Yeah.
know who it is, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back a bit. Let's kind of go back to the beginning. When did music first become something not serious for you? Obviously, you're working in the service industry and you do love that.
Mhm.
But when did it become more of just kind of a passion, like less of a passion, I guess, and more of like, no, I kind of want to like get into this more and actually put my music out there and start doing that as well?
Music started for me when I was really, really young, around like 10. When I first moved out of my reserve, I when I moved out of Wikwemekong and then I moved to Toronto, my sister was a rapper. She used to really lay it on. She's so cool. I think I have two songs with her, and she was
That
so
is
cool. And so I
really
just kind
cool.
of like wanted to be like my big sister. You know what I mean? She was a huge
hmm
inspiration for me, and she was always pushing me to make me. She always believed in me, always. Like there was never, so did my mom and my dad. I never had anyone telling me I can't do it, but she was always like willing to help me in any way that she could. Um, and then for a really long time, I was so young, there wasn't like a lot of experience, I guess. And then when I started producing for myself, I was like, okay, I don't have money to pay for beats, for leases, or to pay producers, so I need to do that myself. So that was like a milestone to learn how to produce. Then it was only a couple years ago I got into the CBC Reverie Indigenous Music residency, and that's when
Amazing.
I was like, whoa, and I learned a whole bunch of stuff in that. And I never thought I was like I released music for fun. And then I got into
Yeah.
that and I met all these really cool artists. And I was like, oh, like people like actually on like a wider scale who don't just like know me. You know what I mean? And just like people
They
actually,
see
yeah,
something in you. Yeah.
yeah, and they like
Yeah.
believe in me, and I was like, that's
Yes.
and I, all these opportunities they were talking about, like all of these people who work at CBC that are indigenous, and they work with music or they work with artists, and I was just like, wow, it went from like something that I can just do to like, oh, I could do this like actually legitimately on the side. Like if I really dedicate my time to do this, I could be pretty good at it. And
Yeah.
then when I released 86, that was when I was like, okay, I want people to hear this. I got to make content. I got to do the thing on social media. Like it's how you have to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're an independent. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, and I did it and it worked really well. So I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
you
I was
did.
like, yeah. I was like it got a bunch of listens. Yeah, it did well and it did a lot better than I was expecting. So I was like, okay. So honestly, it hasn't been that serious for that long. Like
That's okay.
it's been around 2 years, and then I got into the indigenous Amazon song camp as well, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like, people
Yeah.
actually fuck with my shit, and that's so cool.
They
And so
actually like my stuff.
yeah,
I'm actually pretty good at this. Yeah, you
yeah,
can
I
like toot
like
your horn a little bit there and be like,
the the imposter syndrome
I'm
is so bad, dude. It's
oh
so bad.
wow, because I get it. Like, and every
Yeah,
artist I have talked to says like obviously in a different way, but the same
yeah,
thing, you know, like
yeah,
the imposter syndrome. And it's because you go online and you're comparing yourself to
yeah. To
everything and
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, like, it's who you surround yourself with, right? Like
Hmm.
you found a community of people that believe in your stuff, and that makes a huge difference. So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and the mix of the residency and the songwriting camp. That's where I met Khan, by the way, at that songwriting camp.
Yeah,
Um,
let's try. I mean, he knows so many people. He's really cool. He's way cooler
yeah,
than
he is.
me. than us.
Hey,
Like,
dude, he's way cooler than me too. So we have we have that in common. No, that and he was like a big help, like philosophy, like from a philosophy standpoint too. Like the way he thought about music and the way we interacted at the Amazon Song Camp was very much like there was just like a relaxed, and he totally calmed my nerves because I remember getting there and I was freaking out because I was like, fuck, what if I don't write a song like today? And I'm like, or I embarrass myself, or like I'm in this song camp but I don't do anything. And one of the first things he was telling me about, he's like, sometimes you don't make songs, sometimes you don't make any music, sometimes you just hang out with the people for like a couple of hours. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, I
he's
thought that
he
was,
is
but it was,
so like, he's so wise, like this
yeah.
wise con. Like
And it was
he's
so
just like, let me
disarming.
just
It was so disarming. I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Thank God. Oh my God." And
thank
then we made a
goodness.
song. And it was like that was
See?
the perfect, yeah, it was the perfect thing to say at that time. And I was
Yep.
just like, and everyone was like that. I met so many cool people at that song
Yeah.
camp that were just like, they respected the process so much to the point where they weren't forcing it. And I was like, I
Hmm.
need to really adopt that because like I
Yeah.
forced it a lot, and then I get mad. You know what I
And
mean?
then
So
yeah, because then you're kind of trying to push yourself. But like
yeah.
again, like it's amazing who you meet and like how those opportunities turn into these experiences for you and
Hmm.
positive ones, which is great.
Yeah.
Um, as an Indigenous artist,
Yeah.
how does your cultural identity shape your music? I know you said you worked with the CBC and also Amazon, but for you specifically, like, do you feel when you're writing, um, like, do you write with that in mind, or is it just something different for you? How do you kind of navigate it?
Sometimes I do have my culture in mind. There's a couple of songs I have that are like direct references to things that are, wrapped around native culture. Like, I have a song about a Wendigo, I have a song about, Skinwalker, I have my song Skoden, which is like a native pride anthem a little bit. And so like it'll show up, and then sometimes there's just references. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm just like, that's just from my native folk, like no one else is gonna know, but that's just for them. Um, I really there I like involving the culture, but I'm also really scared of like um my nativeness playing a big part in my success. That's something I'm really
Interesting.
like people. I really don't want to be like pitied, or I don't want to
Mm,
have like some sort of handout. And I think one night I just woke up and I was like, what if all of these good things are only happening to me because I'm native. Because people are like, we gotta give the native guy a shot. You know what I mean? Or give, you know what I mean? And just like, and then it was something I was really, really worried about. And I was like, what if my music is bad? You know what I mean? What if what I'm doing isn't good, or people aren't relating to it, and it's just the nativeness that's a hook. And I was really freaked out about that. So it 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 gets in there, and I love it when it does, but I'm like a little scared of it right now. You know what I
I
mean?
see.
And
Yeah.
I've talked to native artists about this, and they feel the exact same way. They're like, yeah,
Right.
it's such a weird feeling of this is such an important part of me, and I
Hmm.
want to express it, but it's like, are people just, do they just feel bad for, and that's why they're listening, or that's why they're sharing. And it's really important when you're a musical artist that you're making good music. You want that to speak for you, and before you want it to enter the room before you do, right? So you obviously you want your identity to be in there, but like if if people are listening and they're like, oh, this is a song by like a native person, maybe we should listen harder, or like listen more. And it's like, no, I just want my stuff to be recognized for being good
Good
and,
music. Yeah.
authentic
Good.
and honest
Authentic.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Which it comes across
Mhm.
as a listener. I feel it does come across that you're very good at storytelling and like the way your phrases work with your throughout your different songs. For your storytelling, has did you always like writing first, or is it just like melody, not even melodies, but lines come first? Like, how do you start writing one of your songs? Is it an idea first or
Yeah, that is I had a friend ask me that one time, a lot more broad. He was just like, "How do you write lyrics?" And I was like, "Bro,"
Mhm.
I was like, "That is such
I
a."
don't mean it that way, but like
No, no, you did it in a really, like, good way, where I can't explain it, but I remember he asked me that, and I was really stumped. I was like, "How how do I write?" Like,
how do I write lyrics?
when yeah, there's a bit of a flow state when you're getting into it, and
Right.
you just words are just pouring out of you, and you
Mhm.
after 10 minutes, you're like, "I have a song here, and I have no idea where this came from." I when it comes to, like, intentionally writing like that, where I'm like, I wanna write a song, if I hear, like, a line in a song that sounds cool, or, like, I'm trying to write something, I need a word, I need a phrase, to just kickstart this. I'm very much like a, slap the horse on a butt kinda guy, where I'm like, as soon as I get going, then I'm, like, gone, but I really need to get going. So usually like a phrase, you know what I mean? If I'm like, boom, I literally like the word death. And I'm just like, my mind immediately goes to all of the things that rhyme with that. And I'm just like, okay, as soon as I have the rhyme, I'm like, I can fly from there. It usually starts with like the instrumentals first, like the music component. And then I'll be like, that sounds cool. I want to write to that, but I need a little something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the when it comes to producing, I have no idea where that comes from. I have no idea how that's something
Yeah,
I
just
haven't figured out yet. It's just like sometimes I can produce like just like it's nothing, and then other times I'm sitting at my computer and I can't like
can't get the right thing.
can't get like a drum beat together, like the simplest
Mm,
thing ever. So it's the production is still a bit of a challenge for me because I'm so new to it. I've only been producing for like
yeah.
3 or 4 years now, I think.
Yeah.
So
Which,
yeah.
hey, that's still like 3 or 4 years
Mhm.
under your belt that, you know.
Yeah. The
But
the
yeah,
song the songwriting is the core. That's like
the core.
what I've
Yeah.
done the most of for sure.
When you get a word like that pops in your head, do you have to write it down? Like if you're in the kitchen, are you like taking like a receipt and like writing it down? Or is it just like, no, I got this. It's like in my head.
No, dude, I freak the hell out because I'm like, I'm gonna forget this. I'm gonna forget this
So you're like, I
idea.
need to
Like
know what this is.
sometimes I'll
Makes
be
sense.
like out with my girlfriend and like I get an idea for a song and I'm like, just hold on. And I'm like on my phone. I'm like,
I'm
if I
sorry.
don't write this down, it's lost and I'm gonna freak out. So like I when I'm in that flow state, I'm walking to work and I'm just like,
Yeah.
just stuck to my phone and bumping into people and I'm like, sorry. Cause I'm like, if I lose that, I start to freak out because I'm like, it's gone. That was the moment. It was like it was coming down to
Hmm.
me. That idea was coming to me, and if I lose it, it's gonna go to someone else. So like
No, yeah,
I
you need
need
it.
it. Yeah.
I would be the same way. And I mean, it's important, like you said, because
Yes.
that's like your spark, right? It's like your idea, your light bulb, and like you don't want
Yeah.
to lose it. So I understand.
Yeah.
Um, you don't just rap, and you kind of just mentioned that you've been producing for 3 to 4 years now. And do
Hmm.
you mix and engineer a lot of your stuff yourself as well?
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. So you
Because
are,
yeah,
yeah, true independent.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I was really, really
Right.
young, I got like my first laptop and
Mhm.
there was this guy at Long and McQuaid, I forget his name. I basically owe everything to him because I went to go
The
buy
guy at Long and McQuaid.
I wish I remembered his name, dude, because
It's
or there
okay.
might have been Steve's Music, which is gone now. So, oh my god.
Oh,
I think it was Steve's Music. I went there to buy a mic,
oh,
and I went there to buy all these things to set up my own little home studio. And I bought a little DAW on like a CD that you like upload to your laptop.
yep,
And
yep.
he's like, I'll come over to your house and set it up for you and just show. And I'm like 14. And
Were
my
you
mom was
like
like,
a
that
little
would
bit
be
of
awesome.
stranger danger?
Like it should have been, but and then he showed up like the next day, just like random guy across the counter, and he set it up for
Okay.
me. And he showed me how to do everything. He showed me how to record. He showed me how to set up
Was there
my
an adult
mic.
in your home
Yes, my
during
mom
this
was there. Yes,
okay.
my mom was there. My mom and my sister. Um, and
Okay, good.
and
Okay, good.
yes. Oh
More
yeah, no.
wholesome now. This is a
Yeah,
wholesome
she
story.
was there when I bought it too. Like she was kind of the middleman, you know what I mean? She made
Okay,
sure it was
good,
all
good.
safe and good. And he set me up and yeah, that's how I really got going with like everything. Like again, I owe
Wow.
everything to him. And I didn't have, I didn't have a producer. I would just download beats from YouTube
Yeah.
and use them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know how to mix. I knew how to make my stuff sound okay. And
Hmm.
then I just got more as soon as I started producing like a couple years ago. I've always like mix and mastered. At that point, mixing and mastering for
Hmm.
me was like nothing almost. Make sure this is as loud as this is, you know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
was that was it. But then I got more into it because I was like, I want to sound more professional. I want to give my music the polish it deserves. You know what I mean? And,
Hmm.
watching videos on Instagram, on TikTok, watching videos on YouTube, fiddling with things, just trying it out. I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't have the money. You know what I mean? Like I
No, I
can't,
mean,
I can't
it's
get it
it's
done.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
So,
understand.
and mixing and mastering are two separate processes, right? So you can have a mix
Ugh.
engineer that you have to pay, who then sends it to a mastering engineer that you have to pay. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I can't
It's
do
like
that.
every little thing, and I think that, like, people don't realize that. It is truly
Mm,
amazing, like, how far things have come along for you to be able to independently, like, produce your tracks, probably even in the past, like, 3 to 4 years that you've been doing it. There's been so
mhm.
much that has come out, but I
Yeah.
think, yeah, like, every little aspect that goes into a song to get produced costs money. 'Cause, like,
Yes.
just, you know what I mean? Different
Yeah.
tracks, and it is very nitpicky in the way that, like, how you want it to sound, how you're putting it together. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into a song for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was in Han Solo, the little break that was from JPEG Mafia, where I think he was giving like a lecture at like a Harvard University, or like someone was interviewing him at Harvard,
Yeah,
and
I
he was
actually really
doing it
love
in
that
front of
part.
a yeah, and everyone thinks
It's
that's
good.
me, and I'm like, "That's Peggy, that's JPEG
I
Mafia."
I
He
thought about it. I was like, "Is
Yeah,
this him?" And he's just, like, lowered his voice, like, into a thing,
yeah.
but now I know it wasn't you,
It's
but
him
yeah.
because he same boat. He was stationed in Japan when he joined the military. He was producing. No one would rap on his beat, so he's like, I guess I got to be a rapper now. And so he became a
Mhm.
rapper. And he was talking about he's like, I couldn't afford mixing, I couldn't afford mastering. So he's like, I just learned to do it myself because there was
Yep.
nothing else I could do to release my shit. And a big
Yep.
part of his thing with the expense, he's like, I'm not gonna pay someone else to fuck my shit up. He's like, if
Yep.
anyone's gonna fuck my shit up, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna learn, and then I'm gonna figure
Yeah,
out what works and what doesn't work. And when I
exactly.
was a young man and I heard that, and I was like, that's everything to me. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
so
okay.
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Then I'm gonna do it. I'm really gonna focus on how to make this stuff sound good, how frequencies work, and how things come out into the mix, and how they work into the master, and how that works in your headphones and your speakers in your car on your phone. And so it's a really fun part of making music for me because and like doing it, I make music with my friends, and like doing, mixing and mastering with them in the room, and I'm like, we can make this sound better, we can try this, we can cut this frequency out, we can add more of this frequency, and it's like a really cool back and forth because as listeners, even as someone who doesn't make music, you can hear all those things, and so it's a really cool like back and forth when you're like, and it's a fun thing to show someone because you're like, this is what you hear in like popular music, like, you know what I mean, or this is what they do, this is how they shape the sound so that it sounds professional. I'm not there yet. Like my music is still very much
Hey,
like
that's
yeah,
okay. You're
but you
learning and
can
growing and,
yeah,
like, yeah,
but you
it's a
can show
process.
people like it's cool when you're talking about music, something that you listen to like have it on the screen and to show someone. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
when you're like listening to a song and you're like, there's too much bass. I'm like, this is probably what happened, and this is
Yeah.
why there's too much bass, or this is why it might sound like scratchy or something like
Mhm.
that. So, and then they're like, oh, that is so cool. I'm like, right? Isn't this just a cool part of making music that you never thought about?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so yeah.
What is one thing that you feel people don't realize about doing it all yourself?
Um Yeah, it's really time consuming, and
Mhm.
it's a it's a step by step process that is like one product usually has like a bunch of different, like when you're producing, there's a whole, like you could just be 2 weeks on just producing, and then you sit there and you're like, "Ah, that was awesome, now I gotta write the song." And then you go through the whole songwriting process, which can then influence your production. And then you're like, okay, yeah, that's great. And then you're like, this sounds awesome. Now it's time to mix it. And then you go through that whole process. And then you get there and you're like, this sounds awesome. Thankfully, mastering with like certain plugins and tools now, mastering isn't like the worst thing in the world. But by the time you get to that process, you're like, wow, this thing's done. What people don't realize about getting to that point is like, I don't want to fucking hear this song ever again because it's mind numbing. People are my song will come on, like my friends, they're playing my music, or like it'll come up on shuffle, and I'm like, turn it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they're like, I love it. I'm like, I've heard this song 250 times. I don't need to hear it any. And the recording process too of like that took 48 takes. I don't want to hear it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
so
Like,
sorry because I'm that person to my friends that are artists.
yeah,
I'm like, what? Your album's so good. Like, let's just
dude,
listen to it. And they're like, I don't even want it on our cottage playlist. Like, take this off.
yeah,
And I'm like,
I
what?
love it.
So
I'm
good.
so I'm so flattered every single time.
Yeah.
It's just I don't think people realize that it's a really long process, and by the end of it, I'm pretty beat, and I'm like, and I'm someone who I've been calling it like post-release blues, or like after the song's out, like after 86. um I've just started working on music again like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's not for lack of trying. I would sit down at my desk and I would do like 1 or 2 hours of just trying my hardest. And at the end of it, I was just so emotionally exhausted. I was like, this sounds terrible. I'm forcing this. This is, and I know some people can just like, they just get to work.
Some people can, but not all
Yeah, yeah.
artists.
And
Yeah.
yeah, some artists take, years for their process. And it's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just not that dude. And I was like, it takes me, I wish, because
No.
everyone on the internet is always just like, 6 weeks, post your next song. I'm like, 6 weeks. I was like, takes six
Yeah.
weeks to get motivated to make music again.
But but you're not them.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
you. So it's just a different, but I
Yeah.
know, I know the internet is such like, it's a beautiful thing and it's also a
Yeah.
curse because like again, going back to the comparison, but I mean, do you feel that pressure in the sense that like after 86 came out and you did make a few videos joking about
Yeah.
it in the last maybe like a month or so, but like about people being like, okay, like what's next?
Yeah. Oh
What's
my
your
God.
next song? Like, and like you're like, it just came out,
Yeah.
like I don't know what more and
And
it's like, okay, so
yeah, that's the other
your
thing,
next
right? Like
song.
people's attention spans. It's like, am I gonna
Mhm.
focus on that, or am I gonna focus on like actually making good music? And I was like, you know what? Realistically, it's gotta be good music. I'd rather release three really awesome songs a year than like 19 mid as shit songs. And it's like, um, yeah, no, it's the post 86 thing was like, now I have to follow up with something awesome. Now I have to follow up with like the best thing in the world to like capture the momentum, to capture the moment. And I'm really thankful that I have good friends around me and good people around me that are like, you're gonna put out something good. You don't have to rush it,
Yep.
because if you rush it, it's gonna
No.
be bad. And they're like, so if you want to put
Or
out,
like you're not gonna
yeah,
like it.
you're
Yeah.
not gonna
Like
like it. And
you're
if I'm not liking it,
yeah.
it's gonna sound bad, because those people know me and they're
Right.
like, we know that if you rush it, it's gonna sound bad and you're not gonna like it. And they're like, so
Mhm.
all of that work to capture the momentum and like try to, drive up the hype train, it's just gonna backfire on you because it's not gonna be good. And it's like,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
right. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right.
You're like, I know, but I want to put stuff
Yeah.
out there. And I totally like that. That's a completely understandable place to
Hmm.
be, right? But yeah, you want to put out something that you are proud
Yeah.
of. So if that takes time, it takes
Yeah.
time. And your fans will understand
Hmm.
that and they'll be ready and willing. And you also do have a lot of music already out there.
That's
So you'll just
true.
have to keep
That's
listening to
true.
those.
I do. I friggin'
Hmm.
I always forget about my old music, mostly because I'm like, I was
And it
really young when I put it out. So
Right. But it's out
yeah.
there and it's good and it's you know what I mean? So if they're really itching,
Yeah. Hey.
keep
Yeah.
listening to your other stuff.
And there have been some like older songs that are like climbing up on the like top
Climbing up.
five or whatever. I'm like, oh wow, look at that. Like,
Yeah.
I guess,
You're like,
yeah,
look,
that's
it's
cool. Yeah.
me.
That's always a good feeling.
Before we wrap up today, we always kind of end our sip session chats with a quick rapid fire round. Are
Oh,
you
oh, yes,
ready?
I am.
Okay. Okay. What's your go to shift drink or caffeine fix?
Shift drink or caffeine fix? Like on
Yes.
shift?
Yeah.
Oh, sugar-free Red Bull, 100% every single time. Yep.
Nice. Nice. It's a good
Mhm.
one. Okay. What's your biggest kitchen pet peeve?
Oh my god, being not keeping your goddamn station clean. Clean your station in between every task that you're doing after prep, after a rush, even after 2 dishes. Clean your station all the time, always.
On it. You better
Yeah, I
do
hope
it.
they're listening.
Okay, great. Okay. I mean, feel like that's a very
I'm
important
their
thing.
boss. I can just tell them
Clean
to do
kitchen,
that.
safe kitchen. Yeah. Most chaotic thing you've seen or experienced on shift
Oh man.
that you can tell us.
Okay, yeah. There was we it was chaotic, but it was really awesome. We had a heated rivalry event where we fed
Amazing.
200 people in less than 2 hours, and every single one of our dishes and chits went out in less than 25 minutes. Every single one. And we nailed it. We had never
Holy,
been in a better flow state. It was incredible. It was chaotic, but
that is
it was
incredible.
amazing. So, yeah, that in
Well
yeah, in
done.
recent memory, that's like yeah.
Top
Mhm,
tier. That's
mhm.
amazing. Yep. Are you more calm and in control or chaos but thriving in the kitchen?
Um, chaos but thriving, as in, like, physically
Mm,
doing the work. I love the work, I love the chaos, but I try to be as calm as humanly possible for my team, because if
mm,
captain's freaking out, then everyone's freaking out, so I gotta keep as chill as
yeah,
possible.
nice. What is a comfort food after a long day at work or like doing music?
I'm gonna keep it honest, it's McDonald's. It is. That's my comfort food.
Amazing.
Um, uh
What's your order?
double quarter pounder with cheese, and a
Hmm.
Fuse iced tea or a Nestea iced tea. Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice. No fries?
Oh yeah, fries. Of course. It's a yeah,
Yeah,
meal.
just
Yeah,
a meal.
of
It's
course,
a
of
meal.
course. Yeah,
Got it. Yeah, I'm a quarter pound with cheese, fries, Coke though.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Coke. That's
I'm
OG.
a
That's
Coca
OG. I
Cola.
respect that.
Yeah, I do like the iced tea, Nestea Fuse
Hmm.
thing. Sometimes I change it up,
Yeah.
but it's Coke. Yeah. So good choices. Good choices. If your music was a meal, what would it be?
Oh my lord. That. Oh jeez. Ah, it would have to be some sort of platter, because I try to mix things
Mm.
up musically as much as I humanly can. I couldn't even, or like the garbage plate from, there's like a city somewhere where like there's a meal called the garbage plate, and that's what it would be.
Oh,
That's what I would have to, I forget. I don't know if
okay.
it's
A
like,
little bit of
yeah, I don't know if it's
everything.
like Philadelphia or something. It's in a state in the
Okay.
US, and it's a big dish there.
Got it. Okay. What's an artist you'd love, or who's an artist you'd love to work with?
Oh man, there's so many. Oh my goodness. I would really, really love to work with another rapper. Um,
Mm.
like Dream rapper. If we're not being
Yeah,
realistic,
dream. Yeah.
JPEG Mafia, 100%. I want to
Oh,
be on a JPEG
nice.
Mafia track so bad. I would
Yeah.
sell
Makes
a
sense.
foot to be on a JPEG song. So
Sell
I
a
would
foot.
cut off
Sell a
I would
foot.
cut off my own foot and sell it if it meant I could be on one of his songs. So 100%.
Okay, well, maybe you won't have to do that and it could still
That's true.
happen.
Maybe one day. You
So
never know.
yeah, maybe one
Yeah,
day. I hope you never know. You
I never
never
know.
know. A song you wish you made.
Oh brother, a song I wish I made. I mean, I would have to.
Shoot.
I'm already on Peggy right now. There's a song called "Garbage Pail
Yeah.
Kids," which is one of the hardest songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And when I need to go
Mm,
crazy on the line, that's what I play, and it gives me
mm.
so much energy. That's what I'm picking. I wish I made that song.
Okay. And an artist who inspires you.
I would have to say Snotty Nose Res Kids. Those two guys. They inspire me
Mm,
like crazy. Juno Award winners, absolutely just wrecking
Yep.
it in rap music in general, not even like indigenous rap music. They're just killing it.
Hmm.
And seeing them walk on that Juno stage and take that fucking Juno, I was like, we can do it. I can do it. I was like, it was one of the most inspiring
Yeah.
things that I'd ever seen. I was like, that is crazy. And yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
What a
Yeah.
moment. Yep. All right. What are you working on right now? I know we talked about not asking that, but you said you're working on a little bit of new music. You don't need to put it out right away, but if
Yes.
you are working on
I'm
anything,
working on right now kind of two EPs. I'm working on one just by myself.
nice.
Sorry.
Nice. Okay.
It's just a short thing, might be like 5 or 6 songs, and then I might be working on another EP with a producer that it's not set in stone yet, so I'm not gonna fully say who it is. Um,
All good.
but if it works out and if we start getting the ball rolling, I have 2 songs for him already, and if we get 2 or 3 more, then EP. So yeah, 2 EPs right now, so a lot of music jumbling around in my
That's
head
a
right now.
ton of
Yeah,
music.
but it's felt
Yeah.
good. It's felt good to just be
Yeah.
going crazy. So yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So lots of stuff to be excited
Mhm.
about. Lots of new music coming up. What do you want people to feel when they hear your music?
I really want them to relate to a lot of the heavier topics that I'm talking about, or the themes that I talk about. A lot of things show up in my music,
Mm,
like personal identity, struggles with family, struggles with addictions, struggles with being a creative person. And I really like when people relate to those aspects of my music. I love when people have fun, but I also love when people see me as a human being that they connect with.
that's that's a lovely answer.
Thank you.
Where can people find you and check out your music?
They can find me on Instagram. That is my number one platform. That is the thing I post on all the time. That's the thing I communicate with all of my community with. Um, they can find me on TikTok as well. I post the things from Instagram onto TikTok. But if you want to speak to me, if you want to be a part of my community, 100% Instagram. And of course, I'm on Apple Music and Spotify and Bandcamp. Those are where you can find all my music. Mhm.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the
Thank
SIP
you
session
so much for
today.
having me. This was so much fun.
This was so fun. It was so great getting to know more about you, your story, your music, everything in between. We can't wait to see what's next for you. So, yeah, just cheers to that. We can't wait.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for sipping with us. A huge thank you again to Wiidaaseh for joining me and sharing more about his story, music, and artistry. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.